silent world I can't believe. Aquarium thoughts, they drift and they sway like the gentle current at the end of the day. Neon tetra in a shimmering school, peaceful paradise, a calming jewel. Glowing guppies with tails like fire, whiskered catfish, their movements inspire. Drifting bubbles, a mesmerizing dance, lost in the moment, given a chance. Aquarium thoughts, they drift and they sway like the gentle current at the end of the day. Serene angelfish gliding with grace, a world of wonder in a watery space. The hum of the filter, a constant refrain, a symphony of life washing away the strain. Worries dissolve in the calming blue. Aquarium magic just for me and you. Aquarium thoughts, they drift and they sway like the gentle current at the end of the day. Emerald corridor sifting the sand, a miniature river held in my hand. So next time you're feeling stressed and low, just take a moment, watch the water flow. Aquarium thoughts, a calming sight, a little piece of peace beneath the gentle light.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Let me fix this a little bit. That's a little bit on the high side there. Alrighty. Good morning. Let me make sure I have audio. I do have audio, so I'm good. I'm good today. How's everyone going today? Hello, Jim's Fish. Hello, Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane. How are you guys doing this morning? Happy Easter for those who celebrate it. Today is April 20th. Today I am going over some tips for fish keeping and how to be successful. Not necessarily on how to actually, not really tips in terms of like cleaning the aquarium and stuff like that. Just general tips on make sure that you're kind of like maintaining success in your fish keeping journey. Though I am going to be going over a few things first. But anyways, how's everyone going? Whenever I see Empire of Dirt Aquatics, kind of reminds me of two different songs. One is Piece of Dirt by They Might Be Giants, and the other one is Johnny Cash's version of Nine Inch Nails' Hurt. And Empire of Dirt Aquatics working on becoming functional. Oh, that's one thing I haven't done yet. Let me fix that. Where is it at here? That's one thing I forgot to do, but nothing I can't really easily fix. Make sure I have the chat up on the screen like normal. That's one thing I forgot. I was so focused this morning on getting everything else working, I forgot one little tiny itsy bitsy thing, which is nothing bad. nothing that's out of the ordinary. Let's see here. Hopefully I get the chat up and running on this now, so. Alrighty, that should work now. Let me see here. Let me do a little test here. See if that pops up. Now that should pop up on the screen how it normally does. Nope. One other minor thing I forgot to click on. There we go. Now we got it. Anyways, hopefully, I'm sure everyone else has plans today. I don't know how long I could do this live stream, but my wife's coming home from work, and we're probably gonna head off to church. So let me see if this works now. Oh well, I'm just gonna forget about that. Doesn't seem to be working. Oh no, it's working. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Anyways, first thing I do want to go over, I did make some changes, a few changes, not like overall design changes, but I did change and add things to my website, which is aquariumthoughts.com. Which let me go ahead and switch over to this one right here, which of course this is my website, aquariumthoughts.com. I did add a few new designs, which is in the quarantine tank. But the biggest thing I did add was you can now order my stickers through the website right here, which is name your own price. It does default to $2. Does mean you have to pay $2. There are other options here, which including the $0 option right here on the bottom, which if you want it for free, feel free to order them that way. I know I have it on Fish Family link as well. You can order through there. Although this will probably be a little bit easier. That way I can actually see the orders more than email from. Good morning, Finnoski. Happy Easter. But yeah, that's one of the things I did. I did add some new designs. I'll go over that in a little bit. But the main thing I want to go over on this was I did add a little section on fish I've kept, which basically is going to be a collection of fish that I've kept before. Right now, I've only have one entry on here, which is the African butterfly fish, the Panaton Buchalski or Buchalzi, I'm guessing. Sorry, I always butcher these Latin names. Which basically, of course, if you click on here, I do give a few details on the fish, of course, a couple photos, and a bunch of other like information, like the biotope it's from, water temperature it likes. I also do include notes on how I keep it, like what temperature I keep it at, how I keep it at, like tank size. Although this fish I have kept in, I explained like, yeah, I've kept in 20-gallon longs. I've kept two before, fine, but then another two, they just weren't happy. But yeah, that's another thing I did add to this little website here, which of course, feel free to check out. Feel free to help support me by buying stuff if you want. You know, like, this is just a little side hobby of mine. I kind of like just making designs and just putting them up on shirts. Not that I expect anyone to buy them, but yeah, this is some of the new products I put on there. But anyways, that's that. I'm gonna just go ahead and stop there on that and get along with the whole stream here. Just minor things. So another thing I did this week was I did buy plants. I kind of redid redid this Congo Tetra tank up here, the 40-gallon breeder. I added some plants. I did get rid of the Anubias that was on there. It was just kind of it was just gathering algae. Wasn't really looking that pretty, so I'm gonna try to add some life to it. Thanks for that. Yeah, of course you don't have to add the index on there. If you just go to aquariumthoughts.com, it'll get there as well. But definitely check it out. But yeah, I added some plants on here. The one I really like that I don't think I've had add was the Hygrophila blue right here. Let's see if I can point it out better. That way. Hygrophila blue. I like the way it looks in the light. Of course, it'll probably look better if I didn't have my lights shining on the glass. But yeah. Yeah, let me know what you think on that. I just hope the plants don't die. But we'll see how it goes. I'm trying it out. If not, if these plants don't work, I might just go with some other Nubius or some other things that are more rhizome plants, maybe. But anyways, off to the main topic is basically I do want to talk about some tips. Not necessarily that you have to follow, but tips I think are helpful. One thing is, of course, first thing I want to say is step number one is you definitely want to stay within your means. Basically, fish keeping can be an expensive hobby. You're dealing with a lot of aquarium tanks and stuff forth like that. Things can get expensive. Of course, most fish keepers do realize that. Especially if you're looking at like a community tank. A lot of people think, oh, you have a community tank, it's a bunch of cheap fish and in a community, but then you don't realize you're paying like, you might be paying like $6 or $7 per fish, but when you add that up into like 20 different fish, you're paying a good chunk. Is that a direct link to the stickers? Let's see. Does that show up? Yeah, that does go directly to my sticker pack. Yeah. Okay, I get you. I get you now. Let's see here. Not that people could actually see that. They can't really click on the video like that, but yeah, definitely stay within your means. You don't want to spend too much money because then eventually you go broke and then you end up with no money and you just have a tank full of fishes that aren't going to support you. Not going to make more money unless of course you get them to breed. Then of course you could actually sell them. But that's the first that's one tip I would like to go over is just not you gotta stay within your means. Don't spend too much money. Just but it took you a second to figure out. Yeah, but on the sticker page, yeah, you could change the amount you want to pay. It does default to $2, which basically kind of puts me to a point where I'm kind of breaking even. I might make a few cents here and there, but if you want them for free, just go down to 0 and I'll send them out for free as well. But yeah, that's the one thing you gotta stay within your means. Let's see, Vinoski. Yeah, a lot of fish keepers do turn themselves into fish breeders, which does help. Which does help support your hobby. Unfortunately, I don't have the setup for breeding. I could technically probably set up my 20-gallon long down here. I could probably set that up as a breeding tank for pistos, maybe if I wanted to. However, right now I do have other fish in there, which probably make it hard, considering I have cardinal tetras in there as well as some corydoras. I do have the African butterfly fish in there, but I don't think that's going to be a big issue with the fry that hang out on the bottom. Because African butterfly fish typically hangs out on top and deals with catching prey off the top. Now, I might have issues with like a pistogramma fry or youngins that decide to go up to the top and get food maybe, but I found that not to be an issue with the African butterfly fish. Typically, as long as you're well fed, they're not going to worry about the other fish too much anyways. But the other thing I do recommend is the second tip I would like to give is definitely do your research. Do your research on what fish you're keeping. Make sure you know what kind of aquariums they do, what kind of water parameters they like, um, and so forth like that. Let's see here, but like definitely check your websites. Actually, one thing I do like is actually basically reaching out to other fish keepers and see how they've kept it. I mean, like this is one of the projects I'm doing. Like I'm saying, I am putting stuff on my website. Okay, this for example is how I've kept the African butterfly fish. And of course, with that as well, if you have any other if like say you see a fish on my website right here and you want to add something, feel free to email me at dave@aquariumthoughts.com. I'll add it as well to that site. But yeah, definitely do your research. Do your research on that. Make sure you're keeping it at the right temperature, right tank size, what tank mates to go with it. Basically, you don't want to have like a big old Oscar with a bunch of small fish you could fit into its mouth. See, Empire Dirt says the stickers I ordered were a little more pricey than I would preferred, but they should hold up on a car. I found that the stickers I've had did hold up on my car pretty well as well. I haven't had any issues with them. But I think one of the favorite ones I did have was, this is actually my old logo. This was on my old logo. This was a little bit larger. Let me see if I move that a little so you can actually. That's of course my old logo. I did change the logo. And if you're curious about my new logo, which you see on my website, that new logo is actually designed by Kevin Mills. I don't know if you're aware of who he is, but yeah, I was able to get Kevin Mills to do that for me. He does excellent work. He also runs Find Your Nemo. But yeah, he does good work. But I actually, with my stickers, I did order some new ones that are should be arriving this week at some point. I think they arrived Tuesday to me. So when I'll probably show them off on my next live stream. I'll show off my new stickers that I ordered. They're my Blackwater logo design, which is the black and white one, which is actually this one right here. That's the black and white one. I have I call it the Blackwater logo, which is basically just a black and white version of my regular logo, which is the colors, which of course you could see on my thumbnails and stuff forth like that. Let me pop it up right there, like that one. Yeah, that one right there on the screen right there. That's my full color logo. And of course, the one I have on my shirt is my Blackwater logo. This, of course, is a new one I ordered. Fortunately, my son's lost my other one. But yeah, I find a lot of those vinyl stickers you order do hold up well. Of course, what you want to look for is the ones that are UV capable. Definitely, when you're buying stickers and for that, definitely do your research just like you would on your fish. But yeah, Emperor, I'm gonna have to get some of your stickers at some point to add to my bucket seat. Add to my bucket seat here, right here. This is my bucket seat. I do have, and that's my Fish Club logo, and of course I put and this of course is my own sticker I put on there. This is one of the stickers that I have. This is the full color logo. I forget what size that one is. I'd have to look that up. Yeah, stickers can be pricey, but definitely if you do want some of my stickers, check out my website. But anyways, as far as research goes, yeah, you definitely want to research, okay, how am I going to keep this fish? What fish could go with it? What size fish tank does it require? Let's see how many people here. Okay. Yeah, definitely want to do your research. That way you are keeping track of making sure you're keeping them well. Definitely with tank mates, water parameters. I mean, if it's a fish, check to see, is it a fish that can tolerate like nitrates or whatnot. Some fish do handle nitrates better than others. Kind of depends on how basically how often you have to really keep track of your parameters. Which is another thing you really don't want to do in this hobby is chase water parameters. Oh boy. Okay, let me go down to just my encoding is kind of struggling right now, so let me see if just going down to one camera helps that. I think running two cameras might be an issue on there. I really do need to get a better setup for this stream, but okay, yeah, I think it was overloaded with the two cameras going, but definitely do your research. Do not chase your water parameters. So if you have hard water and you want to keep a fish that doesn't really tolerate hard water one bit, that's gonna overload you sometimes. I mean, if you feel like you could do it, go ahead and do it. By all means, do it. You just have to keep in mind, yeah, you're gonna have to run a RODI system, and it just adds a lot of things to you. Hello, Particle Aquarius. How's it going today? Happy Easter if you celebrate it. So definitely do your research. If you are going to chase your parameters and your pH and all that, keep that in mind when you're doing it. Which kind of gets into the next tip I do want to mention. Basically know yourself and what you can handle. If you could handle chasing your parameters, by all means, feel free. I know myself, I will not be able to do that, not with my work schedule, not with me wanting to do videos like this, live streams like this. I don't have enough time to balance work, aquarium stuff, and family life. So definitely know yourself, do your research, stay within your means. Um, so yeah, basically know yourself and what you can handle. I know me. I had to downsize my tanks. I had 3 tanks inside. I had a bunch outdoors, but I eventually found myself, no, I can't handle all this. I find myself a lot of times when I can't handle stuff, I just decide, okay, I'm just gonna ignore it and stop doing it. So that's why I downsized. That way I can maintain my tanks well. It's 40-gallon breeder with my Congos in it, as well as my silver tip tetras. Let me see if I can do the 2 camera again. I could probably do that again. Nope, nope, nope. It doesn't like 2 cameras, so I could do this. I could do this. Let me see if that helps. Let me see if that helps. Let me see if just going down to my view of my tank will help that. And apparently that doesn't. It really doesn't like. It doesn't like that camera. I think it just doesn't like that camera, but probably too much movement. So I'll keep it as that. I really don't need that up in the scene, so I'm gonna push that down. That way, that's out of the view. But you can still see my lovely tank behind me. You just can't see the fishies. So basically, know yourself and what you can handle. Don't handle too much. Don't never. I mean, you're gonna be making shortcuts. You're not gonna be keeping all your fish as well. Now, of course, if you're the type of person who can handle like a whole complete fish room, like I said, by all means, do it. If you can handle it, you can handle it. But another thing I do find that is helpful is making sure you're keeping things simple. Uh, keep things simple to a point where you can actually handle it. Keep things simple. It's just a lot easier to maintain. Um, but once again, if you like a complex system, you can handle the complex system. By all means, if complex system is simple to you, then that is still keeping it simple. Don't make don't make things overly complex where you can't handle it. Which once again, that does tie into know yourself and what you can handle. And a lot of this stuff does eventually all tie into itself. Like keeping things simple would also keep your costs down. You're not running the risk of going beyond your means by spending all your money on the fish keeping hobby. um, but yeah, a lot of these tips do tie in to once together. And let's see. Empire Dirt says, unfortunately, I am a workaholic. So if I'm not busy, I get myself in trouble. Yeah, yeah. But sometimes I like to unwind. Sometimes just kind of just to like relax. Um, but I do find myself keeping myself busy on other means as well, like maintaining my website. I've been working on my website the last few days, like adding the new designs that I have, adding these stickers to the website. That of course takes time. I admit that that listing is probably not the most perfect thing I put up there, but it's just stickers. Definitely order them if you want to order them. I'm definitely gonna have to see if I can get some of your stickers, Empire. Jeff, I'm gonna have to see if I can get some of your stickers. Probably add it to my lovely bucket. I hope I can eventually get this to be a bucket of stickers rather than a advertisement for Michael Lift. This, of course, is the bucket I won at the Fish Club Aqua Swap. But anyways, yeah. So basically, keeping things simple helps in a lot of means. It makes sure that you're able to maintain everything. But once again, it's all going to be a personal decision. Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to be able to do different things. Me personally, right now, I can only handle these 2. Get beyond that, then it's like it just becomes too much work, and then I just decide, no, I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the time to do it right, and then I kind of let things at the wayside. Like Prodigal Aquarius, like says, his sweet spot is about 27 tanks. Most of them are no substrate grow out and breeding tanks. 75 minutes maintenance every night, and plenty of time to observe the critters. Yeah, that's the other thing to do. I mean, it's always nice to be able to just sit there and observe your critters, observe your fish. Like I spend the time when I actually feed the fish, to actually observe them and see how they're doing. Um, so like right now, I could see that I probably do need to do a water change in this thing. My Congo Tetras seem a little dull this morning. I don't know if it's because it's still early. I just turned on the lights recently, or if it's something wrong in there, which probably means I do have to do a probably do need to do a water change in here ASAP, because I did do some work in here and probably stirred up more things that I need to get out of there. See, that shouldn't be a problem as long as you're patient. Jim's Fish asked for some in January. I have envelopes of progress. Yeah, that's yeah. I still need to send. I know someone ordered my stickers. This through actually a family. Through the Fish Fam link. I still need to send them out to him. Although I did actually in the meantime I did send him out one of my bottle opener magnet things. So he actually got something a little bit more. A little more of substance, but I still have to send them out my stickers. I'm going to do that as well. It's just a matter of just getting off my tush and actually put them in an envelope and mail them out. Which for me should be easy considering I actually work at the post office, so I'm there pretty much every day, except for 2 days a week. So, but yeah, I do need to do that. Everything else on my website, though, it's all done electronically. It's just a matter of me pressing buttons, which is not an issue. It's just when I actually have to personally mail out things like the stickers, I do need to get off my tush and actually do it. Which, if you actually are ordering stickers through my website, if you actually do one of those donation ones, I'll probably get right on it just like that. Um, but like I said, it is in my stickers are name your own price. I do have some options on there, ranging anywhere from 0 all the way up to I think 10. It'd be nice to get some support, but not necessary. But anyways, off to the next thing. Yeah, the bottle cap magnetic is sweet. I still have mine. Yeah, I actually got one too. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Which is, of course, this thing right here. That's what Jeff's talking about. I mainly just use it as a refrigerator magnet. That's what I use mine for. I could probably use it as a little magnet on my fish stand too if I wanted to. Though the one thing I have found on it, actually using it as a bottle cap opener, I'm not quite sure. Mine unfortunately did come off, but it does make for a great magnet. This is still a great magnet. That's mainly what I use mine for. I have other bottle openers I like a lot that I use. I'll put that right there. Right on me. Man, let me move it over here. There we go. But anyways, next thing I do want to add, which kind of keeps the whole theme of the whole thing just tying into each other, is basically set time for yourself, set a schedule. Okay, set a schedule. Okay, this is when I'm going to do my water changes. This is when I'm going to do feeding times. That way, it gets you into a habit of doing these things. Like right now, my water change schedule is essentially every 8. It's every 8 days. It's every 8 days. It's whenever I have my day off, because my days off typically I have Sundays off, and then my other day off it's floating. So if say I'm off tomorrow Monday, then the following week it's Tuesday, then Wednesday. I typically do my water changes on that second day. which is the floating day off, and I seem to find, yeah, I've used it a few times. The nice thing on there is actually there it goes. There it goes. Like I said, it fell off, but I probably have to glue it in there. That's the one thing I don't like about this. It doesn't seem to hold in there well, but yeah, I do need to look at the other magnets that are on there rather than this bottle cap opener. I'll probably add those to my website instead. But yeah, this thing does a really good job at actually opening those 20-ounce bottles. And the magnets are out of line. Oh, I see why. Of course, now that thing doesn't want to come off. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. But definitely set a schedule on when you're going to do your water changes, your maintenance and cleaning and all that. Um, that way you get that habit of actually making sure you're doing it every week and doing it on a regular basis. But that's pretty much it. I'm probably gonna eventually do this short, just primarily because I do need to get ready and prepared. I still need to take a shower, but I'm not ending it right now. But I mean, I think that's all the tips I really had this week. If you have any other tips, feel free to mention it in the chats. If you're watching the rewatch, leave a comment on what tips you'd like to offer. But as far as my website goes, definitely check it out. I mean, it'd be nice if people ordered, but not necessary. I just do this as a side hobby. I've done this for ages. Back in the day of like dial-up modems, I used to do a cafe press, just make a little designs and put it up there. But the one thing I do plan on doing more is adding a list of fish I've kept, info about them, how I've kept them, if I remember how I've kept them, how my water is. Like I do have extremely hard water, so definitely not good for say breeding pistos. But I do actually have a pisto down here. I think it's actually a still blue. I'm still trying to figure that one out. It sold to me as a Borale, but I think it's actually a still blue. Just doing some research on that. But definitely check out this. I do plan on adding more. Like I said, right now all I've put on here so far was the African butterfly fish, the Panaton Puchalzi, Empire of Dirt says build a fish room. You can do it. That's my tip. Unfortunately, I do not have room for a fish room. I would love to have a fish room, but I really don't have the room in here, a place. Best I could probably do is turn my storage shed into a little fish shed, but unfortunately, I do still need to store stuff, and I have no room in here to store stuff. I did add a few few products on here, a few new designs. Like my parameters are fine, which is more just a play on. People when people ask stuff online. They ask for help, and they're like, "Oh, my parameters are fine." They don't. They don't. That's just a play on that. Yeah, this is just an updated design. Now I did keep in mind on some of these designs. I did use AI. I know some people don't like it, but unfortunately, it's just. But I do put a little notice that yeah, I do use AI artwork on some of these designs. Some of them I do just use clip art, and some like my logo. My logo is actually done by an artist, Kevin Mills. He did the design of my logo. I would love to support artists in the fish club and the fish community. Unfortunately, what did I do? What happened? Are you still here? Is everyone still here? Let's see here. Oh, no, okay, I see what happened. Okay, my little monitor thing, it decided to just pause. But yeah, let me see here. Anyways, I'm gonna head out of here. I need to get ready to go. But I'll talk to you guys next week. I'll probably be going live same time, 9 a.m. Eastern. No, 9 a.m. Pacific. That's about like noon Eastern. So, anyways, you guys have a great day, and I will see you around.
The day is done, the lights are low, gazing at the tank.